BelieveInTheLand.com. Sign up today to the newsletter, and you'll have an opportunity to win tickets to the Commanders-Browns game. You should also check it out because Tony Camino is funny and handsome. Look at him over there. He writes articles. And you know what? He works so hard. Just give the guy a like. Just give a guy a follow. And I'm Andy Billman here. We're going to talk Browns. It's been 24 hours since, or not 24 hours. It's been 36, 48 hours since the Hall of Fame game. Tony, now you've had a chance to digest it. We were just talking about before we came on. There's the Cade York. There's the DTR. There's some special teams. There's a lot of discussion about excitement about Tillman. I've heard his name said quite a bit. Jones, the rookie from Ohio State, the lineman, he showed a really good game. What pops out to you most now that you've had 48 hours to digest?
Definitely the biggest thing that pops out is Cade York. I mean, that's the one guy that we can guarantee in that game is going to be playing for us at least. And his confidence from the jump still doesn't look like it's there, whether it's his technique. I'm not a kicking expert. I definitely could use to learn a little bit more about what goes into his everyday process and like every routine through it. But the fact is that he just doesn't look confident out there. Even the ones that he makes seems like they tail off one way or the other at the end. It just doesn't seem like he's got a consistent kick, either like a golf ball. Either he's drawing it or he's fading it. It doesn't seem like he has any control over what happens at the end. And that's a concern because we don't want to have a season derailed because of a kicker.
Yeah, I think he's opened up the door to everything Tony's saying. In fact, the second PAT put a nice icing on that situation. It's going to take a while before he gets any confidence with anybody. It's open season now, in my opinion. In fact, I am surprised the Browns aren't bringing someone in. I think this young man needs to be challenged. I think it'd actually be good for him. That's me. I'm with Tony. I'm not a kicker, so I don't know. And definitely there's a mentality to it. The other thing that really stood out to me in this game there are some positives, but the other thing that stood out to me that can translate sometimes in regular season is effort and play. And I thought the special teams really had a bad day. I mean, multiple kicks back for big yardage. I thought the lack of, I would call it care into defending a field goal kick by the Jets on multiple attempts was alarming. Like you even saw one or two guys sometimes Tony just walking off the field even before the kick was like called good. Special teams need some energy, needs picked up.
Definitely, I think they need to. I mean, because on special teams, if you can have discipline and energy, that's going to take you 95% of the way. Talent in special teams is only going to take you so far. You just need to get out there, put your head down, not make mistakes. And it didn't really seem like they did any of that in the first game. I mean, some of the plays, one of the first returns, were catching a punt back on the 5-yard line. Like, why are we not letting that bounce? If they can somehow get down there and down it inside the 5, good for them, good play. Most times that's going to bounce in the end zone like we saw on numerous punts.
My advice to Kevin Stefanski is I would focus a lot on special teams this next week. I think there needs to be a lot of time put into it. That was like a high school college showing. I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, I know it's practice, whatever, but I'm telling you, that was lacking. Okay, there were some positives. Demetric Felton, I never thought had a better game. Tony Grossi also said the same thing. I thought he had one of his best games I can ever remember. Jones showed a lot as a rookie. Tillman looks the part. You can tell he's going to be a big part of this offense. I was never DTR was surprising, but I saw him play in UCLA, so I like that. On the other half of this, I never understood the Kellen Mond excitement or bringing him in. I saw him play Texas A&M, and I thought he was lousy. And in fact, what I saw at A&M is what I saw on the field. So I think he's gone. But those were the other things I think were nicely developed. Was there one thing or another that kind of stood out to you in those names, or maybe something even else of something?
Definitely. I mean, those were the biggest guys who stood out. DTR we all saw him. For the people who watched him in college, kind of like you see how explosive of an athlete he is, and it's like, how did a guy fall that far? Whatever the questions are about his ability to throw, he can make guys miss and he can provide value as a runner. But how good he looked standing in under pressure and like adjusting himself, that was not something I expected to see out of him. So that was really nice. Cedric Tillman and DeJuan Jones didn't really look like they even belonged. Like they looked too good to be playing against those kind of guys. DeJuan Jones he is bigger than everyone else, but when you're that much bigger than everyone else and you can still move your feet to keep up with them, yeah, that's a scary thing. And definitely, like you said, with Demetric Felton, he looked like he was running hard. I think some of the linebackers actually looked pretty inspired. I think Tony Fields had a pretty nice game.
I did too.
I think while Tony Fields is never going to be the guy where we just throw him in, pencil him as a starter, and let it go, the fact that he has shown he can play strong side linebacker, middle, weak side linebacker, he can kind of be that Swiss Army knife that Taki's been, especially if we give him a bigger role.
Well said. I like both the Isaiahs, McGuire, and Thomas. Mm-hmm. I saw them multiple times in the fourth quarter get into the backfield and cause havoc. McGuire made a big tackle. Thomas, multiple times, almost got to the quarterback. They look good. Now, they're not going to start, but they look good. My big thing on defense is defensive ends, very exciting. You can tell, we never even saw Ogbo, obviously, or we never saw anything from Myles Garrett, which is not a surprise. And we really never saw anything else. But last year, Tony, I thought the defensive ends really slacked after Garrett. This is nice. It was nice to see that. It's refreshing. I'll give a shout out to Cam Mitchell. I think that the draft might be better than what we thought. As you mentioned, Jones and Cam Mitchell looks good. On the other end, the only thing I don't want to raise a red flag of worry. Dalvin Tomlinson better be really good. I don't know what to say about these tackles on defense.
Yeah.
They looked like they did the years past. I'm not surprised Elliott playing a lot because I think he needs it. I don't know what to say about the defensive tackles. Need to see more, but I got to be honest. Like, the defensive ends made me feel good. So it's like, okay, like if the Isaiahs are playing like this, and I know what we're getting from Ogbo, no one getting from Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett. Okay, cool. Those defensive tackles, though, yeah.
Right. I mean, so what I saw, one of the reports at a walkthrough was that, because defensive tackle, I've been saying it over and over, that is for sure my biggest concern. But there's been a lot of reports that they've been playing a lot of Zadarius Smith inside. And so we're almost going to be running 3 DNs on the line and let Dalvin be just that one tackle. And because Jim Schwartz is super like, I'm going to get after the quarterback and I'm only going to do it with 4 guys. And so to do that, you're going to put your best pass rushers out there. And our roster is constructed to do that. Like, we have even Alex Wright. I think Alex Wright is more talented than anyone in the D tackle room besides Dalvin Tomlinson. So if we can consistently play 3 DNs on the field and then bring in a Shelby Harris or bring in some other proven veteran to just give Dalvin Tomlinson a break and rotate, I think we'll be fine with that. But as it stands right now, if we were to play 2 traditional tackles, they're going to get blown off the line of scrimmage.
Oh, my God. It's going to be a nightmare. All right, so to quickly wrap it up, that's kind of a surmise. Obviously, we're all interested to see what Deshaun Watson's going to do on Friday night against the Commanders. I think everybody's going to be watching Cade York for sure. And I think this week is really all about, to me, Tony, can everybody stay healthy? I know Baldwin got injured. I know there's another gentleman who already got injured. So far, it's been pretty clean. Like not a lot of injuries, which is good. So that's what I see going forward. Check out Tony's articles on BelievingLand.com. We'll be here all the time talking Browns, Cavs, also the Guardians, and boy, they make a lot of moves. And then, of course, Buckeye football. That's Tony. I'm Andy. See ya.